Great night, family. Great night. We are back. We are back. We are back with Tuesdays with Tamoa. And as usual, I'm so happy to be here. But I will say that life presents some unexpected, I don't like to use the word challenges, but definitely unexpected unfoldings, revelations, aha moments, all of these things that just come along with life, come along with living in this universe and this life. Um, but I want to talk about weight. Um, and the weight that I'm talking about is the weight that we put on ourselves, the weight, whether that's physically, whether that's mentally, whether that's spiritually, whether that's a weight through relationships, a weight through negative self-talk, a weight through feeling sad and anxious and depressed and all the things that come with all the things, right, that we go through in life. How much control or how much responsibility do we give ourselves when it comes to the weight of our lives? And when I thought about this, I immediately thought about my weight loss journey, which I don't often talk about, but I think it's important. And my weight loss journey, I believe, was the spark of how I'm where I am now. Um, I always feel like in life, they definitely have different chapters. We have different timelines, we have different storylines. And for every timeline jump, or, when things start shifting and changing and you start making different decisions, or, doing things that may be out of your regular decision making, or making just huge decisions about your life, that's when your storyline changes, and it's almost like, okay, this is a new chapter, this is something new that's happening. And for me, what I feel like I did was I made a decision to live, because my health was at stake, my children were little, and I was overweight. I've been overweight for most of my life. And then having three children, of course, taking care of kids, family life, being married, all of those things. Um, Sometimes you put on more weight, right? But for me, through therapy and just through understanding, I realized that my weight that I started gaining as a child, right around the age of maybe like 10 or 11, was emotional eating. It was linked to trauma that had happened to me. And so I found safety in food, which, I mean, a lot of people do. It's not, I'm not making it right or wrong, but for me, it was my comfortable space, because what I ended up understood and believed is that as I gained weight as a child, it was like the weight subconsciously shielded me. It shielded me from pain, shielded me from hurt, shielded me from being an object and feeling vulnerable for anything or anyone to hurt me again. Um, and so that I gained more weight over time. And by the time I decided that enough is enough, I knew that I definitely needed to lose weight. Like I said, I wanted to be here for my kids. I did not want to be sick, diabetes, heart attack, all these things, issues, high blood pressure. I didn't want any of that. So I had to make a decision. I had done as much as I could with losing weight in terms of like on my own. And I knew that to me, weight loss surgery was like the most like extreme thing that you could do. Like in terms of your body, you're physically, no matter which surgery you're getting, you're somehow changing the organs in your body. Um, And I had done a lot of research, and even like 6 years before, I thought I was going to get it. And I got really, really scared. And I said, no, this is not for me. I'm going to go for it again. I'm going to do this. But I also realized it wasn't just like I couldn't lose weight because, my diet wasn't right, the things I was eating, or I wasn't exercising enough. I did all the things. It was deeper than that. And I really believe that it was part of an emotional tie for me. It was something that I felt trapped in because psychologically, the weight was, even though it was hurting me in a physical way and a mental way, it was almost like the attachment that I had where it was mentally keeping me safe was more important. But so I made the decision. And for any of you that know about weight loss surgery, I had something called a vertical sleeve. And I think that this was 10 years, well, almost 10 years ago. I think that people automatically think that when you have weight loss surgery, that it is some kind of magic pill. And that is absolutely false. It is not a magic pill because I know a lot of people that have had weight loss surgeries, even ones more evasive than me, and they've not only gained the weight that they lost that they were originally at, but now they're at a higher weight than they were before. And that could be for multiple reasons, even physiological reasons, physical reasons. Sometimes the surgery doesn't always work for everybody. But I say all that to say is I knew that I was doing the most extreme thing that I could do, but I also did the most extreme thing I could do because I felt like I didn't have any other options. I had to change my life, and changing my life wasn't get the surgery and then you go back to the way that I was doing things. I prepared myself. I studied, I read, I understood it. I went to as many classes as I could. I started understanding nutrition better, and my body, and just how I saw myself, and just uncovering all of these things, right? So starting to drop the weight, right? That was the physical weight, the mental weight that I've been holding that was attached to the reason why I had been overweight since I was a child. So I did it, right? I got the surgery. It was a hard road. Like, it was a rough road. It wasn't easy. But I did it because it was important for me to stay healthy. It was important for me to be here for my kids and to be able to watch them grow up. And at least, while yes, there is 100,000 different health conditions that could happen, at least I knew that I was doing something that definitely seemed beneficial for me for the long run to be here. So I say doing the weight loss was part of my this revolution or evolution, excuse me, of me, because after that I started seeing myself differently, and it wasn't just in a, like I said, in a physical way. And I've lost over 120 pounds. And um it wasn't, like I said, seeing myself in a physical way, because even after I lost the weight, my mind was so used to seeing myself in a certain way that, yes, I knew that I lost weight, but it was still like I saw the same person. So it's like, wait a minute, something's not quite right. While I uncovered a lot of the things that were going on with me, there was still some type of weird attachment, things that I hadn't healed from. And that's when the aha moment came, in terms of understanding the reason why the emotional eating and the hiding behind the weight and all of those things comforted me from the trauma that I went through when I was a child. So that, being able to uncover that and shift through that and unlock that, that was another process, right? So then I started seeing myself differently. My self-worth was down the toilet. I was really, really good at helping other people solve their problems and find solutions to their problems. But to be honest, I was really, really having a hard time solving my own. And I think that happens to a lot of us. What I didn't really realize is that all of these things, my weight, my mindset, all of that was tied into my self-worth. It was tied into how I really saw myself, carrying all this weight for years and not being able to release it impacted decisions that I made in my life, maybe why I wouldn't go further, why I wouldn't take the next step. And mind you, I am a persistent person. I think that I'm intelligent. I made a decision, to become a therapist and spend 8 years in school and do all of these things, but that's just one part of it. There was another side of myself that wasn't confident enough to be able to do something else. Because to be honest, there is a part of me that knew that there was something else for me than just those things. And there was nothing wrong with the life that I had, the life that I built. It was just something else. So I went on this journey of self discovery to find myself. And it's funny because I think that God, the creator of the universe, sets you up sometimes, right? Because you think you're just doing one thing. Like I thought, oh, just I need to lose weight, I need to be healthy, I need to be here for my kids, blah blah blah. But then there were a lot of twists and turns along the way. I went through I went through a divorce, just a lot of changes, a lot of movement over the last few years. Of course, COVID happened that changed so many people's lives. So all of these shifts and all of these things were happening to me, you know, and it was not the crap was hard. I'm not gonna lie, it's not easy, but I know that anything we're doing, anything that involves change, anything that really deals with seeing yourself and peeling back the layers is not gonna be easy. It's not for the weak. It's not for the faint of heart. But I do know that any and everything that I've been through up until this point has been for my greatness, has been for me to become who it is that I'm becoming. I talk about it all the time about you seeing your higher self, seeing yourself in a different way, seeing yourself in that way of, the thoughts that you may have of the things that you wanted to do with your life that maybe you never thought you could get there, or maybe you thought it was impossible, or it seemed real juju or weird, or like nobody would believe you. Like, I believe you because I have visions. I see me doing all types of things in all types of spaces all the time. It is real. But what I realize is I wouldn't have got to this area in my life, like this mindset, this openness, this transformation that I've been through and that I'm still going through, had I not decided to just make one change in my life. That one change that I made, it was like the stepping stone for a million more. And like I said, it wasn't easy along the way, but what really is when it comes to your greatness, when it comes to you really being successful? Because when you look back, you want to say, like, I really did that. Like, I really did that. No matter how hard it was, I conquered it. Even though it's not over, I still have other mountains to climb. I still have other things to do. At the end of the day, that you know that you accomplished what you set out for, it is an amazing thing. So I say all this to say that I feel like there is so much in our lives that we do control. There are so many decisions that we can make for ourselves, so many things that we can unlock, so many parts of ourselves that we can really see. I'm not saying it's not easy. Like I'm telling you, it's not easy. Like crying, bawling on the floor, like crying and pleading to God, right? Because there's so much that happens to us and so many things that are like trapped inside of us, locked inside of us, the trauma, all of the stuff that we go through in our lives that, sometimes our brains just protect ourselves from it because it's too much to handle at one time. But if we don't deal with those things, if we don't start connecting the dots to maybe the reason why things keep showing up in our lives, or the reason why we make the decisions that we do, or the reason why sometimes we feel such despair, if we don't really start facing our own crap in the mirror and looking at ourselves and taking responsibility and forgiving ourselves at the same time, then we're going to keep repeating the same cycles. And one thing about me is, like, I love to see people win. And when I say I love to see them win, I love to see them win for themselves. I love to see them climb out of darkness. I mean, I stayed in darkness for so long. It's a part, right? That shadow self, that part of me is still there, but I have to make a conscious decision every single day to rise above her. Like, she's still there, she's still a part of me. I still love her, but she can't make decisions for my life. She cannot. And I know there are so many people, I hope, watching this that can resonate with what I'm saying and understand that you are not alone. If you feel like there are things that you want to do with your life, you know, there are ways that you want your health to be better, or you want your money to be better, or you want your relationships to be better, your job, your business, whatever it is, like, you just need to make one decision and actually execute. That's it. God will send you the people, the resources, all of those things will come, but you have to be the one to make that decision. And you have to also really listen to yourself and your spirit, because no one on the outside of you can tell you about you. Yes, they may know you, but you know you. You know you better than anybody else. Listen to God, listen to the spirit when it comes to making decisions, because at the end of the day, they may look real crazy to other people, but you're not living for other people. You're living for you. You have to live for you first. So go out and be great. Do all the things that you want to do. Give yourself grace along the way, but make the decision. You don't have to stay in the same place. You don't have to stay stuck. It is time to release the weight. I keep talking about 2025. It is the year to know that whatever we put out, we will manifest. So, positive thoughts, positive thinking, even when things aren't, like I talked about at the beginning of this video, like, look, life is presenting some things to me, but I know at the end of the day that I will get through them, that I have the control to make a lot of decisions. Yes, there are so many things outside of my control, but the things that the things that I can be intentional and focused on, those are the things that I'm going to do, because those are the things that are going to get me the furthest. And I have to let go and let God do the rest. I love you, family. Thank you for watching. Love, 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 love you. Feel like Whitney Houston, like, the greatest love of all inside is inside of you. You are the greatest love of all. That's how God made us. And remember, you are your greatest value. You are your greatest asset. Take care.